Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. My name is Derek. This is High Five Resale Shop. This is a channel where we kind of go through the things that we've sold on eBay over the weekend. And today I wanted to show everybody how I list CDs. If you haven't been watching, if you're new to the channel, I purchased somewhere around October last year a music store that went out of business. It was a CD shop. Somebody actually got all the records. I didn't get any of the records, but I did get all the CDs that were left over. About 5,400 CDs so far from that purchase. That I paid $1 a CD, so I paid the guy $5,400 for the CDs, and I've been selling them ever since. I'm really heavy on CDs. Right now, it's not what I really ever intended for my store to be, but it has worked out really great for me. And I've been selling CDs since October, pretty hot and heavy. I'm in the top 1% of all CD sellers on eBay at this point, and I think I have probably around 1,300, 1,400 CDs up that are used, and then probably another 900 that are new, sealed. So they had new stuff and they had used stuff at that store, pre-owned stuff, and we've been selling that a lot since we started that project in October, and I've since paid that bill off with, you know, the amount that I've been selling. Been doing pretty good on it. I still sell clothes. I have to remember to put clothes up in order to keep those listings rolling. I don't know if you're new to eBay, then you wouldn't know that when you sell in a specific category, it kind of gives you momentum in that category, and the algorithm tends to give you preferential treatment towards the top. That's in addition of I'm a top rated seller and I have a 99% feedback, positive and everything. So all those things combine, that's when you get put higher and higher in the listings. And then it also depends on keywords and other things. And I'll show you that at the end of the video here. I'm going to show you how I list CDs in detail. I'll go line by line and show you my process and putting stuff up. I think an average CD, putting it up takes about maybe 3 or 4 minutes. I know that there are people faster than me putting it up, but I'm not really concerned with that. I'm rather concerned with getting the listing right the first time, and a lot of times I don't even do that. But when I go through the listing the second time, when I'm putting the next item up, I see a mistake that I made on the last one. So then I will finish the listing that I'm on and then go back to the listing previously, correct whatever was wrong, and then move ahead. So I don't let things be incorrect on there. If I see them, I change them. Even if it's 3 or 4 listings that I've screwed up on, I'll go back and change them, because it's important to get them right, because you don't want to get returns and you don't want to have to answer a lot of questions about your item if you have the wrong information up. Sometimes, and I'll show you with the listing, when we do that, eBay will make mistakes for you or have incorrect information for you. So we will go through that at the end of the video, but right now let's get to what's sold. Let me update this really quick here on the old eBay machine. And we sold 14 things from Friday until just a few seconds ago. Something sold and I went and grabbed it, and we will start with that. So 14 items for total, which is total includes shipping costs and fees in it still, so it's like a gross total of $413 over the weekend. And then there was one really big sale, and we'll discuss that when we get to it. So let's dive right in. The first thing is a vintage Slinky from James Industries. It's metal. It's supposed to look like it's, the old school Slinky. Retro toy. It's got a barcode on it, so you know that's not old or anything. This sold for $6.50 plus shipping on top. That was from a consignment purchase buy. Still in a consignment deal with a woman on her things that she had closed. I think a vintage booth in an antique mall, and I don't really want to do that stuff. But she was feeding us items when I was still working in retail, and we had absolutely nothing to put up, and so the things that she gave us were a blessing when they were given to us, and we will continue to take care of her until we are done with that. So that Slinky came from that, so that was $6.50 plus shipping on top. The next item is a CD. It was the best of Arlo Guthrie. I don't really know a lot about Arlo Guthrie, except he was the precursor to Bob Dylan. Folk music. And it's new sealed. This sold for $5.50 plus shipping on top. The next item is Silverstein, a beautiful place. Beautiful place to drown. This sold for $8 plus shipping. It is a pre-owned CD, and there is a CD in there. I don't know anything about Silverstein. Sounds like Silver Sun pickups, but it's not. Silverstein, indie rock, that sold for $8 plus shipping on top. The next item is, I might have to change this cover on this because it's got a little crack in it, and I don't like to send out cracked jewel cases. People always complain about it. Chick Corea, Return to Forever. This is a jazz CD. This sold for $3.75. I think I got this for 50 cents at a thrift store. I thought it would be worth more, but at least we got rid of it and we got our money back for it. Let's see here. The next one, Kenny Chesney, Greatest Hits 2. This one's got Living in Fast Forward, Beer in Mexico, There Goes My Life, When the Sun Goes Down with Uncle Cracker, The Good Stuff, No Shoes, No Shirt, No Problem. And then it's got a song I've never seen before. It's I'm Alive with Dave Matthews. That would be interesting to listen to. I've never heard that song before. This sold for $3.50 sealed new plus shipping on top. Little side note, I've been removing things off of my eBay store that are less than $4. And as soon as I get that done, then I will move up into the $4 category, and I'll start removing those. I have 3,900 listings right now, and I'm creeping up to, I'm going to try and get around $8 or $9, and then I'll probably stop. But then my lowest priced item in my store will be $8. So I'm going to creep up to that point and take stuff down and put stuff up, and keep it around the same 3,900 items. But I'm going to try and start taking the lower stuff down. It's a lot of packaging to, for a $4 CD. It's a lot of upkeep on it, because my bubble packages, they come to be about 36 cents a piece, and then I do wrap my CDs when I ship them out with two 12 by 12 pieces of bubble wrap together, and that's how I protect everything, make sure everything gets to where it needs to go without getting any returns for broken CD jewel cases. So when you put that together, that's like 40 some odd cents. And the labels really don't cost anything. We'd say like a penny a label, so that's really not a cost in and of itself if you spread it out. And then maybe a little bit of tape. So we're talking a penny in tape, a penny on a label, 36 cents on the mailer, and what I say, 6 to 8 cents on the bubble wrap. We're somewhere in the middle of 45 cents. 45 cents that I have to come up with, that's coming out of my profit on these. And so if eBay's then, if I sell it for $4 and shipping's on top, so I don't have to worry about the shipping, the price of the shipping label. I just have to worry about the actual label itself, the 1 cent. Then the $4 can be broken down into eBay getting half of that, which now brings it down to $2. And then I have to do all this work to get the shipping materials together, which is not a big deal, but it ends up being a deal with how many CDs I'm shipping out. I'm constantly buying these bubble mailers. I just want to make it more advantageous to me kind of to do this. So we take eBay's fees out of the $4 and we probably bring it around to $2 after all is said and done, for the final value fee and all their fees. And then after that, then you take your 40 some odd cents out of it and you're left with like $1.50. I mean, I don't have a problem like saying my 3 minutes of time of putting that up is worth $1.50, but at some point you just got to up your game. So I think I've passed the point of selling the CDs for like $4 or $3.50, because ultimately somebody's going to come in with an offer. And if I'm doing CDs that are like $8 or $9 and somebody wants it for $7.50 and I'm still making $3 or $4 from it, no, maybe like $3 from it, fine, you can take a little bit out of that profit margin. But when I'm selling something for $5 and somebody comes back with an offer for $3.50, I mean, I'm barely making anything to begin with. So at the beginning of the whole CD thing, I was kind of humble about it, and I was like, I'll just take anything anybody's able to give me. Then I started to creep this thing up to be like, well, if I could sell this at a flea market for $1 and all I have to do is turn around and take the money from the person, I mean, I'm okay with that. I don't have to do any packing or anything like that. So, and then, you're thinking about, in addition to the packing supplies, is my time packing all this stuff and getting it to the post office. So, that accounts for something as well. So, because I need more time in my day to be able to list more things, to be able to sell more things. So, long-winded, but that's that. Back to the stuff that's sold. The next item is Bring Me the Horizon. The CD's titled Posthuman. The band is named Bring Me the Horizon. I've not really heard of this band. It says indie rock pop, so that's pretty generic. $9 plus shipping on top. And they have some featured artists on this stuff, but I've never heard of any of those people either. So usually you bring in the big names to be your featured artists on a song, and if you don't know any of the featured artists, then hey, they're pretty obscure. Okay, the next thing is so that one was $9 plus shipping on top. And the next one is Sevendust Best of Chapter 1, 97 through 2004. Is it a 4? Yeah, it's a 4. Heavy metal, rock. I don't really know if I know any Sevendust. I knew of one song at a time, but it's so long ago that I listened to Sevendust. $17 plus shipping on top. Really good CD. Is it one CD? This CD is probably pretty dirty looking. I have new clean jewel cases. I will probably put this in a new jewel case before it's sent out the door, just because they paid $17 for it, and they kind of deserve a new jewel case on it. Then we got into the clothes. So the next item is this XXL, brand new with tags. It's got a tag here from Old Navy. It's just a long sleeve black shirt. It's got this little cross pattern up here at the neckline. It's still got the tag here from the store. It's pretty sheer. You can see through it, but just be aware when you're doing clothes, XXL and 2XL are not the same in one and the same. So the measurements are different on those, so be aware of that when you're listing stuff. I mean, I've been selling clothes for a long time, and until I got to working at Old Navy and I asked the question, because they had XXL and 2XL, I didn't know that there was a difference between the two. But one is for like shorter length, and one is longer length of like top to bottom, and then length of the arm. So just be aware of that. That shirt sold for $12 plus shipping on top. That's a pretty good sale. The next item is a pair of pants or slacks, whatever you want to say. They're mediums. They're Miss Look, MISS Look. Medium. They're blue elastic waist. Check the elastic waists on your things before you buy them. It says it's a linen pant. So like we talked about on last episode, linen, always good to buy. Your other good fabrics would be silk. Silk, as long as it hasn't been washed and shrunk and it doesn't have any, give to it. Silk is good to look for, and if you probably have had at some point had a silk item that got ruined in the wash. So that's what you're looking for when you're doing that. So there was a little string hanging off that, so I just want to take care of that right there. These pants sold for $12 plus shipping on top. Okay, and then the big old sale of the day. And I think this was Saturday morning that this sold, and so Saturday became, for the last 2 months now, Saturday was the biggest sale day of the last 2 months. So because of this book, the Possum book, it's an ex-library book. I think it came out of a school. It's got the book card in here. How many times it was checked out? Probably looks like about 20 times it might have been checked out. So here's the return stamps on the front. Inside it's got this writing up here, but otherwise the color on it is really good. It's got really nice pictures in it. The spine is really good. It's one of these books that was created specifically for the children's like school libraries or a library, public library. It's got a really thick hardcover on it, and then it's got an actual cover that's got color to it, so that's pretty cool too. It says it says from 1963, Possum by Robert McClung, written and illustrated by. This book sold for $213 plus shipping on top. I'm sure I will upgrade the shipping on this to priority, and I might even put a signature required on it. I'm not sure. But that sold. That was awesome. $213 plus shipping on top. Can you believe it? For a book from 1963 about possums. Or opossums. Whatever you want to say. Pretty cool. So the next item is a Hollister large blue plaid v-neck 3/4 sleeve shirt blouse. It's got this little tie up front. This sold for $10 plus shipping on top. The book and that sold via promoted listings, so I'm gonna owe eBay a little bit for them directing my customer to those items. But well worth it. I only promote at 3%. This book is old. Me putting it up is old. So I could have had it at 6 at that point. I'm not sure. For the last 8 months, I've been doing 3%. I heard somebody on a YouTube channel say they wouldn't promote, and then they were discussing it as a group, and they said, well, if the minimum is 2, you could do 2.1, and then you're ahead of everybody who's doing the bare minimum. And I was like, yeah, that sounds about right. And if you did 3%, I mean, you're not that far away from those people who are doing 2 or 2.1. So you're just getting that much exposure. It's kind of like thinking about if you're going to play like the lottery. I don't advocate playing for the lottery, but when these big jackpots come up, I sometimes buy a ticket, and all you have to do is just buy 1 ticket. You don't have to buy 10 tickets. You don't have to buy 50 tickets. You buy 1 ticket. Your odds of winning the jackpot are nearly impossible, but if you don't buy a ticket, it is impossible. So if you just buy 1 ticket, you've increased your chances exponentially. And then after 1 ticket, you couldn't buy enough tickets to make your chances any better. So I think about that in terms of the promoted listings. I probably should do 2.2, but I just stuck to 3. So I'm not going to do 12%. You won't make any money. You'll be paying all your money to eBay for the promoted listings. So if you're going to do promoted listings, I don't know, do 2.1, do 3, do something really low, but do promoted listings, because it is going to put you ahead of all the people who aren't going to do promoted listings, because they're like, there's a bunch of people who are like, I'll be damned if I'm going to do that, kind of thing. So let them be who they are, and then you can just go and just position yourself like the guy at The Price is Right, $300, and then the next person's like $301, because he gets everything from 301 up. So, and then the next guy comes along and they're like $302. So that's what you want to do. So that's what doing that does. But anyway, I digress. The next item is REO Speedwagon. REO Speedwagon Decade Rock from 1970 to 1980. And it was $450 plus shipping on top. This has got on it Roll with the Changes, Time for Me to Fly. I think that's about it. But Golden Country. So that is a double CD that sold for $4.50 plus shipping on top. Then this person messaged me and asked me if I would do $6 on it. So this sold for $6 plus shipping on top. This is David Allan Coe, 30 songs on 3 CDs. And I think it's got a colored booklet in here too. David Allan Coe, underrated outlaw singer. It doesn't have the ones that you would think it would have on here. Like You Don't Have to Call Me Darling. But it's got a bunch of his other stuff on here. The other song that you might know, it's got like, is the one he's singing Johnny Cash's songs. Yeah, so when he's singing Johnny Cash's songs, so he's got like Hey Porter, I Walk the Line, Ring of Fire, Folsom Prison Blues, One Piece at a Time. So Sunday Morning Coming Down. So the one CD is all like covers of Johnny Cash. Another one looks to be like covers of other songs. There's Mama Tried in here, which is a Merle Haggard song, and stuff like that. So, and then ones like folk music, like Home on the Range and My Darling Clementine. So interesting, but it doesn't have as well-known stuff like The Ride and You Don't Have to Call Me Darling, which is one of my favorite songs. Because I like people who can do impersonations, and in that song he kind of does some impersonations. So that sold for $6 plus shipping on top, and I had a little joke going back and forth with the person who sent me the offer. eBay, I like when eBay comes through on my phone with a message, I can just text like it's, I'm texting a friend or whatever. But when I see it as an email, I then treat it as an email. So it's really weird. Like I'll message back like, yep, or, yes, sir, or whatever. Just 2 words when I'm doing it over the phone and it's a message, because it looks like just a text message screen. But then when I get to the computer, it looks like an email screen. So then I'm all formal with it, like, yes, ma'am or sir, this is a 3 CD set, and it's got 30 songs on it, and it's in good shape. So pretty funny how that works. The last item that sold, the first thing that sold on Friday, but the last item we're going to talk about right here is this Christine McVie self-titled rock CD from 1997, it says. And I don't know anything that she did without Fleetwood Mac, so I can't say any of these songs are awesome or whatever. But this sold for $6 plus shipping on top, and she was in the group Fleetwood Mac. So there you go. That's all the stuff that sold. And so we're going to talk about how I put these CDs up online. So I'm going to turn the camera around, and it's going to be looking at my computer screen. This is the only way I know how to do this. I'm old, and I don't necessarily know how the best way to do this. But hold on, we're going to turn it around. Okay, so the first thing we're going to be doing is we're going to be trying to sell this CD. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take off this sticker right here. And then I'm going to go up to the search bar, and I'm going to type in Best of the Blind Boys and see what comes up. They'll probably have several CDs. Okay, so I add 12 Unforgettable Okay, so now we have some listings that come up, okay? And as you can see, this one's brand new, this one's brand new, brand new, brand new. So This one is worth listing because the price is $17.29. The thing I need to know is that this person is doing it with free shipping. So I need to know where to price mine with mine being shipping on top. Okay, so I do $17.29 minus $4.13, which is the going rate for media mail. And that comes out to be $13.16. I never really put stuff up for like right underneath $17.29. I won't put it at $17.28. I'll put it a little bit less than that. I'm not worried about the 14 cents or whatever. I'm just gonna do it at so $17.29 minus $4.13 is $13.16. So I'm gonna list mine for $13. Okay, so then I'm gonna go to a screen here. This is the last listing that I did. I never create a new listing. I haven't created a new listing in years. So I continue to recreate or create a similar listing. So I go to create a similar listing, click on that, which was right here. All right, and then the CD comes up. Okay, so this is the last one I created. So I scroll down and I'm going to this UPC thing. And I'm going to put in the UPC that's on this CD. Oops. Did all that typing and it wasn't in the screen. All right, so I put the UPC in there, and all of the information comes up here for eBay. They've already have it in the system, so I can use all this information, and I don't have to fill out that information. This is something that I found out when I started buying this big huge lot of. This is the best way of doing this, not filling stuff out first, but I find out if there's a picture and I find out if there's information on it. After that, I can do many things. I can set it aside for later because now I can just do them all at one time. And that's where this came from. It came from a pile that I've already looked up this stuff for. So I have piles of stuff that don't have pictures, that I need to do pictures on my own. And I have piles of stuff that have both pictures and information that I could just put up. So I'm going to scroll down just a little bit to the blue button to continue, and I hit that button. eBay uploads all the information in here. So you see here the title's in here. The band is in there, the title's in here, the UPC's in here. Some information about what kind of genre it is. The label's in here, the style's in here, and I'm not going to add anything really to this. And then the year it was produced was in here. So this information may or may not be right, but I have to go with it if this is the UPC I want to use, because eBay will kick it out if I start changing information in here. I can add to it. I can add to the information that isn't already in here. So I can't add to this. I can't add to this field, this field, this field, or this field. If I change any of that, eBay is going to kick my listing out and tell me I have to use a different barcode or something. It's going to kick this picture out, so I won't be able to use this stock photo. Okay, and that's one of the things I don't want to do, is don't want to have to take pictures. Secondary issue is on this CD, you can see this line through that UPC. Record stores did this so that the items couldn't be, not the record stores per se, the distribution center that sent stuff to the record store put a line through this barcode so that it couldn't be returned to them because they gave it out as a promotion, or they had them buy a bunch of CDs and then they would get something for free. And this is something they got for free, so they didn't want this returned to the distribution center. Most people don't care if there's a scratch on the back of this CD case or outer box. On some of the CDs, like if it was this Mariah Carey CD, there might be a hole punch up here through the top, or they'll put a notch in the side here. On the jewel cases, that's what they would do. Sometimes they put a black line. They put a black line right through it. So that's what those are. So if you see that stuff, you have to just disclose that that's part of the listing. People obviously don't read listings very well, but you still have to include it. So when they go back to complain, you say it was in the listing, and then they go back and read it, and they're like, oh yeah, it was. I should have read better. So that's all you have to really do on that. Okay, so the next item I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the title, and I'm going to fix my title, okay? So I put in Blind Boys, and then I like to make sure that all my initial words are capitalized. I could put best of, and then 12 unforgettable classics. I didn't get all the classics in there. So they said down here, they said Blind Boys was gospel, religious, and Southern gospel. Okay, so up here, I'm in where it says, and this is why I continue to use the same listings over and over, because I don't have to change all these words. I just have to change some of these words. We put soul, and we'll put gospel. Music CD stays. Recording stays. It's a generic word, but it seems to work really well for these CDs that I have. And then down here, I'm looking at the date. That's the next thing I'll put in. And sometimes I can remember all this when I'm not trying to teach people stuff. I remember all of the pertinent information when that first box came up. I'll read it all, and I'll try and remember it all, so I don't have to go up and down and all that stuff. So now the title is good. If you see here, we are using 79 of the 80 characters. I strongly encourage you, when you list items, use all 80 characters. If you're using 79 of the 80 characters, that's fine. But I would, even though this word is not going to be complete, I just try to include it. Try to use all 80 characters. Everything that you could possibly put in there that somebody might look up the item. Then I go in and I copy that, and I just hold on to it. It says that it's new. It says the title of the band. It says the title of the record or the CD. It's got what it is. It's soul, it's gospel music. In case anybody's just looking for general soul or gospel music, maybe this could come up. It's got CD in there. It tells you what it is. And it's got the year it was made. Not important, but maybe to somebody it is. Because they're looking for Blind Boys. What did they do? In what years? Maybe they were looking for something they did around 2006. So they just put in Blind Boys in 2006. It's a possibility. Not highly likely, but it still is. Okay, so what are these other boxes? Subtitle. Never use it. I never use it. It's $2 to do that. Never use it. Custom SKU. I did use these custom SKUs when I did the estate sale buyout, and that's how every item is put in there, so I know where to find it. I have the last name and then the number of the item that it is. So like Bartlett 1, Bartlett 2, Bartlett 3, Bartlett 4, or whatever. Okay, so the next thing is item category. It's already in there as a CD, but if you clicked on it, you obviously come up to the item category screen and you can pick out that is a cassette or is it a record, but it's a CD. So I just click out of that. And then this here is my store category, which is already set up as well. And then these are all my store categories. You know, Eddie Bauer, Coach, Hollister, Lacoste, NFL merchandise, Nike, Old Navy, Pampered Chef, Ralph Lauren. So those are my own store categories. This is eBay's categories. This is Derek's High Five Resale Shops categories. So then the next item has already been filled out, like we said. 5 Blind Boys, Best of 5 Blind Boys, UPC, that it's a CD. I don't know what the other option is here for a CD. There isn't. So that's ridiculous that it's got a drop down menu and there's nothing in it. Gospel, the company, the record label, the style, So What, 2006. I really don't use any of these others here. I just use what eBay has put in there already. Then I go down some more. Variations can't be used on this item. The item condition is new. You could change it if you wanted to, but it is a new item. It's sealed. So I'm gonna put new, and then I'm gonna put my little caveat right here at the top about the scratch out on the back. So this is my own description. I set this up, years ago, and I just keep doing it. So I'm going to delete that. I'm going to write, there is a scratch out through the barcode on the back of the outer CD case. And I misspelled a word. Okay, and then down here I will paste my rest of my stuff. Okay, and then Blind Boys, of Mississippi, misspelled that. Best of Blind Boys dash 12 unforgettable classics. Recordings out Soul Gospel, Christian, misspelled so many words, Christian, and where am I? Okay, Christian Music 2006, 13 tracks. How many tracks are on here? 12. So 12 tracks on it. Just like to tell people how big the CD is going to be, or if it's just going to be 3 or 4 songs. I just want them to know, especially if it's a higher priced item. Okay, so now we have done the description. It's in there. That's good. when you do your first one, maybe you have to spend a little bit of time to make a custom template that's worth that you like to look at, because you're going to be looking at it a lot. Format, buy it now. I don't do auctions anymore. If I do an auction, it's like on some Beanie Babies or something that I'm trying to get rid of, and I'm going to let the customer set the price. So I usually start it out at a penny and let them fight over it. If there's an item that you want to do that on, like a lot of CDs or something, then that might be a good way of doing that. Auction. So that's what's in this field. I do buy it now. So we said we were going to put it up for $13 when we looked it up before. We have a quantity of 1, and I've already done my payment policy by eBay Managed Payments. I have clicked this box about offers here. When I got back into the eBay shipping thing, when I got back into the eBay thing, when I left my job, I just was trying to generate sales. So I clicked all offers on everything. One of these days I might take that off, but right now I accept offers. I don't put anything in here. I don't schedule my listing to start. So I skip over that. My shipping policy, this for CDs are going to be the media mail, and I just created a policy for media mail, and it says I have 1,770 listings on there for media mail, which would be all my books and movies. I put in 5 ounces. Anything below a pound is going to be the same. It's going to be $4.13. Anything over a pound and less than 2 pounds is going to be $4.87. It doesn't matter where it's going, as long as it's media mail. It's going to be those two prices basically. And when we're talking CDs, there's really nothing. 4 CDs usually turn out to be around a pound. Sometimes under, so you can get away with the $4.13 on that. And then the package dimensions of the envelope I'm putting it in. So that's all there. I don't have to touch that stuff. International shipping. I am part of the eBay international shipping program, so it's already in here. So all my listings will show up for buyers worldwide anyway. I don't have to do anything for that. My location settings for where I am at for return shipping is in here. That's all this stuff right here. All this stuff right here. And then promoted listings are here. If the CD is $20 or more, I will do promoted listings here. So I'll click on this box and I'll change this to 3%. We talked about that earlier in the video. But this CD is only $13. So I'm not going to do that this time. I have never done this daily budget. $1 on an item just seems ridiculously high. I have never done a charity auction, so I never click this. And then I list it. Right here is where I would click, and I find this to be the hardest part of eBay, is to save your listing as a draft so you can use it like on Sunday. I don't do any work on Sunday because it's the Lord's Day. So if I was going to actually be able to list on Sunday during the week, I would have to save drafts so that I could release them on Sunday. And I wouldn't really be doing any work. I'd just be clicking a button to release the listings on Sunday, so that you have constant listing. But this is the list it now button, so I'm going to list it, and then we're done with the CD. That is how I list a CD. I'm going to turn the camera around. So I apologize. This video is very long, but I think the end of it is very, very important. There are many other things to show you. This was the CD I was going to do next to show you that it's not worth putting up. But you can do that on your own. You're smart. You can figure out what's worth putting up and what's not worth putting up. And then this one I was going to use in my my demonstration. of one that doesn't have a picture on it. So the same concept, except I would have to make the picture and create all the information for it in the subheading part of it. And it's worth listing. It just doesn't have a photo. So I have to take the photo and upload it. Well, I hope this video was informative for you. I hope you watched it to the end. And if you did, congratulations. I really appreciate that. If you have anything to comment down below. Like, subscribe, tell your friends about this channel. I'd like to see it grow. If you know somebody who does eBay, tell them to watch. Tell them to check it out. And if you have anything you wanted to get in touch with me about, you can comment down below or message me. And we will talk to you the next time. Bye now.